Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cinema Heroes. I'm Justin Speck.
I'm Jake Stu.
And today we're talking about our most anticipated movies of 2024. We try to do this every year, and just a heads up, there were a few movies, 3 on my list, 2 on Stu's list from last year that did not come out in 2023 and will inevitably be on our list for this year. So, including, I'm pretty sure, our number one is going to be Familiar. But without further ado, well, I guess first, Stu, I just want to say, last year we did 15 movies. We were pretty excited about 2023. It was tough to come up with 10 this year.
It was.
I don't know. There's just not. I don't know. A lot. Some of this stuff we just haven't seen any footage for yet. So maybe I'll get a little bit more excited about some of these movies the closer we get to the release dates. But yeah, I came up with a list of I don't know. I probably have 15 or 16, but I'm not like super excited about a few of them. So I am pretty excited about other ones. But so yeah, it was. We're only going to do 10 this year, not 15. Yeah. So without further ado, you want me to start it off? You want me to go with my number 10?
Yes.
All right. For me, the
age before beauty.
Yeah, there you go. My number 10 movie that I am most anticipating of 2024 is The Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim, which is an.
Now, I hadn't realized that was even a thing until I was making this list.
Oh yeah. So this is going to be an animated Lord of the Rings film, which I think is kind of a cool idea. And I hope it's really good. It doesn't come out till December 13th, so I don't really have anything to say about it. Hopefully, 6 months from now, we'll get a trailer or something, and hopefully I get super pumped about it. But
we're going to say that a lot during this episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This won't be a super long episode.
No, the first 4 movies on my list, I got not a whole lot to say. So, but yeah, that's my number 10, Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim, December 13th.
Nice. My number 10 snuck in there recently because I saw the trailer for it 2 days ago, and I was like, I am watching the hell out of this. And that is Alex Garland's new movie, Civil War.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it seems like a really cool concept. I don't know if it's an original story. I assume it is because it's Alex Garland. But the trailer looks awesome. It's about America in a civil war, but it's set in present day,
right?
And it looks really good, but it also looks kind of, I don't want to say scary, but to me it felt like a horror element, and I think that was because it seemed a little bit too real. So it did seem a little tad bit scary, but it looks like a really good action thriller. So nice. I'm pretty excited to see that. But like I said, it snuck in there 2 days ago because I wasn't, I saw the poster for it on Instagram, and I didn't know what it was about. I just knew it was Alice Garland and some people had built a fortress around the torch,
right,
of
yeah.
the
Statue of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, that looks interesting. And I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to see that.
Nice. I have seen the poster. I have not watched the trailer. Maybe if I had, maybe it would have ended up on my list. But I failed.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I'll watch it as soon as we're done recording. Maybe that'll be one of my honorable mentions, just because if you think it looks pretty good, I'm sure then I would think it looks pretty good too. So, and I do typically like Alex Garland. I wasn't a huge fan of Annihilation, but I wasn't a huge fan of that book either. So I really think it was the source material that I didn't like, not necessarily Alex Garland, because I pretty much liked everything else he's done.
I really like Annihilation.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about Men though.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet. So
that's a beautiful movie. That is one of the best looking movies of last year.
Right.
It's a travesty that it didn't get a 4K, because I would have bought it just to look at it, even though I don't really like the movie.
Right.
The the composition, the cinematography, the color grading, that it is so good. But the theme is a bit heavy-handed. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, by the title, you can pretty much tell what the movie's about.
Right. All right, number 9 for me. I am somewhat. I think again, once the trailer comes out, it might sway me or what's the word I'm looking for? Sway me one way or the other.
Sway you?
Yeah. So I am cautiously optimistic for this one, and that is Beetlejuice 2.
I knew you were going to say that. You and I have the same number 9.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah. And I know you're going to say everything that I'm going to say because I want it.
Right.
Like I've wanted it all my life, but
right.
It's like 40 years later.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Tim Burton's doing it is cool. The fact that Michael Keaton is back is awesome. But it's just typically, with the exception of like Top Gun Maverick, typically sequels that come out like 20 years later, 30 years later are not usually very good. And so, and they've been trying to make this movie for years. So it's gone through a lot of different scripts and everything. And so hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's a return to old school Tim Burton, which I would love to see. I'm sure it'll have plenty of green screen CGI elements into it because just that's how movies are made today. But hopefully maybe we'll get some cool sets and practical effects in there too, maybe. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see Michael Keaton back in the role of Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Sure. And I hope it's good. I would like it to be good, but I don't know. We'll see. But I am, at the moment, without having seen any footage, I am somewhat excited about it. I want to be excited about it.
Yeah, as am I. Like Tim Burton has not gotten me excited in a long time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge fan of the Alice in Wonderland movies.
No. I didn't
Charlie
like
and the
Dark
Chocolate
Shadows.
Factory.
Did you see Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp?
No, but I heard it was not very good.
Not very good. I didn't see Dumbo, but it didn't. The trailer didn't do a whole lot for me. So yeah, I agree. Tim Burton, he used to be one of those directors where if it said directed by Tim Burton, I wanted to see it. And now that doesn't have the pull that it used to have for me, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully this movie will be kind of a return to form for him. So
yeah, I hope so.
All right. Well, that was both of our number 9. So you want me to go into my number 8, I guess?
Yeah.
All right. My number 8 is another movie that is a sequel, I guess by the time it comes out, 24 years in the making. It's a movie that I don't really feel like needs a sequel, but it is Gladiator 2. And so the main reason I'm kind of excited about this is that Ridley Scott is back. He's the one doing it. It's got Denzel Washington in it. I forget what the other actor is, or who the other actor is. The guy that there's an actor who's playing Russell Crowe's son, who I think is the main character. And so it's got a good cast. Again, Ridley Scott's doing it. If it had been any other director, I probably would have been like, nope, it's going to be garbage. But hopefully it'll be good and it'll be worthy of the first movie. So that's my number 8, Gladiator 2, which comes out, where is it? November 22nd. Beetlejuice, by the way, was September 6th.
Okay. Number 8 for me is Bad Boys 4.
I knew this was going to be on your list.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Same directors as Bad Boys for Life, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bad Boys for Life?
Yes, I have. It was very good.
It was very good. It is Bad Boys for Life is easily the best one of the 3, but I love all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is probably blasphemy to say, but I think the first one is the worst one, not because it isn't good, but the second one is such a fun ride and it is so funny.
Yeah.
Like it is a perfect balance of action and comedy. I love the second. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But objectively speaking, the third one is easily the best one. It has it feels like a real movie. Me and Alex always have this this thing about Michael Bay movies, that they're enjoyable to watch, but they don't feel like movies. They feel like montages. They feel like music videos,
right.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But that the Bad Boys for Life, when they directed that one, that really felt like a real film. Like it had everything that it needed to have. But yeah, that movie had everything that the first two movies lacked, while still having everything that we love about those first two movies. So I'm very excited about Bad Boys 4.
Nice. Yeah, I think I would agree with you in terms of the third one being the best movie. The second one I saw in the theater, and I remember I had such a good time watching that movie in the theater. When I rewatched it a few years later, it was still very fun, but it felt a little long. Like that movie is, I think, the longest of the three. It's like 2.5 hours or something.
Yeah, I feel that way with most Michael Bay movies, but
yeah, that's for sure. But I agree. Like, even though the first one is still a ton of fun, it's probably my least favorite out of the three.
Yeah.
And the second one it's a ridiculous movie, which again could be said about a lot of Michael Bay movies, but it is just, it's a blast. And the third one was also a blast. And yeah, this Bad Boys 4 didn't actually make it to my list. It's an honorable mention. And I'm sure once I see a trailer, it'll probably knock something off my list and be in my top 10. But yeah, that's June 14th, Bad Boys 4.
Nice.
All right. Number 7 for me is Nosferatu.
Yo, I feel like from here on out, we're going to have the same.
Is this your number
list,
7?
Man.
Nice. This is awesome. So Nosferatu is it Dave Eggers? Is that his name? Robert Eggers. Dave Eggers, I think, is a novelist. Anyway, yeah, Robert Eggers, the guy that did The Lighthouse and some other movies I haven't seen, but The Lighthouse I liked enough to know that him doing Nosferatu is going to be quite the movie. So
yes.
I am really looking forward to that. Bill Skarsgård is playing the vampire, right? Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Which is just, that's going to be amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be awesome. There's no footage. There's been a couple of images that have come out lately. And I know that one's going to be, I'm definitely going to want to see that. That doesn't come out till Christmas Day, 2024. So I think it might be a while before we see a trailer for that one too, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've this is definitely a very highly anticipated movie. Even though it's number 7 on my list, because obviously the other 6 I'm looking forward to a little bit more. But like we said at the beginning of this episode, we haven't seen much, so my excitement level can't be that high.
Right.
But Robert Eggers, I think I've seen everything he's done. I've seen The Witch, I've seen The Lighthouse, I've seen The Northman. They're all fantastic movies.
The Northman, that's what it is. I really need to watch that. It's in my watch list. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but yeah, I need to watch that.
Do you own it?
No, but it's on one of the streaming services. It was on Peacock or something for a while, and I think it's on something else now, but it's available. I just haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet.
It's a great movie. I think you'll really enjoy it. Have you seen The Witch?
No. I think the only one I've seen of his now is The Lighthouse. Now that you mentioned like the name in the movies of his, I think I've only seen The Lighthouse.
You may or may not like The Witch. I didn't like it on the first viewing, but upon a second viewing, I watched it with a new perspective. And I said, this movie is really good. Because I kind of understood more what the movie was about. Because it wasn't really about the witch. It was about how the witch is affecting the family and watching their familial relationship deteriorate was a much interesting watch than watching it for horror.
Gotcha.
So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I need to check those out. The Northman, The Witch, and I should probably even watch The Lighthouse again to gear up for Nosferatu.
Yeah, I watched The Lighthouse for the first time this year. Out of the three, I probably enjoyed that one the least, but it was still a very good movie.
Right, yeah. Interesting. All right, cool. Would you like The Northman the most?
Yes.
Nice. I need to watch it. All right, so that was number 7 for both of us, correct? Mm-hmm. I'm very curious if our lists are going to be like exactly the same throughout the rest. My number 6, we recently just got a trailer for, and it is again a sequel. Actually, you know
it's
what?
It's going to be one of two movies.
The rest of the movies on my list are sequels, which is crazy. Okay. Number 6 for me is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
No,
not the movie you were expecting.
That's not on my list, and it's not on my list because I haven't seen Fury Road.
Oh man, dude, you got to watch Fury Road. So I was gonna say, when I saw Fury Road, I was blown away by it, and I loved it. I bought the poster for it, but I have not watched it since, and so, which is weird, but. So my kind of love for it has gone down a little bit just because I just haven't seen it recently. And watching the Furiosa trailer really made me want to rewatch it. And to be honest, the Furiosa trailer didn't get me as hyped as actually, I don't actually remember being all that hyped by the Fury Road trailer either. It looked just kind of just insane to me, but I still kind of wanted to see it. And I'm really glad I did because I thought it was amazing. And so I hope the same thing happens with Furiosa, because the Furiosa trailer, while I thought it looked good, didn't blow me away. But, so I hope it's really good. I like the actors in it a lot. George Miller's directing it, of course. If it had been anybody else, I would have been like, no. But part of me also wonders if he's going to be able to capture the same magic as he did with Fury Road. So we shall see. That's my number 6. It comes out. When does that one come out? May 24th.
Nice. I tried watching Fury Road once, and I was very sleepy, and right. I fell asleep on it. Yeah. And I've been wanting to watch it. I've been wanting to try to watch it again since, but I want to watch it on 4K.
Oh yeah.
So I've heard that 4K is amazing. So I'm waiting to purchase that.
Nice. Very cool. There's also a black and white version that I kind of want to watch. There was a version they put out called Black and Chrome Edition or something like that. I don't know if they released it on 4K. I know there's a Blu-ray of it, but I never bought it, and I really wish I had.
I wish they would do that with more movies, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my number 6.
Nice. My number 6 is a sequel, but it is also, I believe, the start of a new trilogy. And that is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. We just had a trailer for this one as well.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that because everything you were saying matched.
Matched
this movie. Yeah, I think that the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the newer trilogy, is one of, if not the most underrated trilogy in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Because every movie is really good. And the best one is probably Dawn, but War is right up under it.
right. Yeah. Those movies are underrated. You don't really hear people talk about those movies much, but they were awesome.
They were excellent. They were excellent.
Matt Reeves did Dawn and War, and they were both really, really good. The reason this one's not on my list is I did watch the trailer, and it didn't really do much for me. And part of it also, I think, is just I thought the Dawn or War ended it, kind of well, and so I didn't really feel like we needed a continuation. I assume this is a continuation, but I don't know.
It is, but I think it's supposed to be like a trilogy in its own. Like you know how the Star Wars movies work.
Sure, yeah.
They're all part of the Skywalker saga, but
right.
you got the original trilogy, which is its own thing,
Right,
and then
right.
you got the prequel trilogy, which is its own thing, and then you got the sequel trilogy, which is its own thing.
Nice.
So I think that's how this is supposed to be.
That makes sense. That works. Normally, and if this had been pre-kid days for me, I would definitely go see that movie. I don't know if I'll end up seeing it in the theater just because I got to be real picky about what movies I go see in the theater. And I feel like my top 5 that are on my list, I'm hoping to see in the theater in 2024. So that one, we'll see. If you see it and tell me, man, you got to go see it, then maybe I'll try to make it to the theater. But we'll see. Number 5 for me.
Number 5.
All right. Number 5 for me was on my list last year. It was supposed to come out in 2023, but it has got pushed, and that is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yep, that's my number 5.
Yep. So the trailer for this actually I thought looked really good. I was very impressed by it. It got me even more excited. I was already excited because I really liked Afterlife, and it's Ghostbusters, and I was also surprised because I really wasn't expecting the original Ghostbusters to come back again. And so seeing him in the trailer, I thought was kind of cool. And so we're back in New York, which is super exciting. And it just looks very, for the most part, from what you could tell from a trailer, it looks original. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like a rehash of anything that we've seen before. So I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that's my number 5. March 29th, I think I wrote down.
Yeah. Everything you said.
Ditto. Well, cool. Well, all right. That was your 5 too? That was your number 5?
Yeah, that was my number 5.
All right. Yeah, this is going to be a short episode.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4 for me is another one we haven't gotten a trailer for. There's been some on-set pictures, and I'll just, it's Deadpool 3.
Oh, okay. All right.
Very excited to see the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I know you don't totally love the look of the suit. I'm hoping once we see it in the movie, it looks pretty sweet and not maybe so cosplayish. I don't really think it looks bad, but I think hopefully in the movie it looks even better. But yeah, just the fact that Hugh Jackman's coming back. There has been, I purposely did not look at the pictures, but there was some headlines about returning characters from previous movies showing up in Deadpool 3.
Yeah. I saw something that I wish I hadn't seen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try to avoid.
And it wasn't even like the thing about it, there was no headline. They put the spoiler alert. It was on Instagram, and they put the spoiler alert in the caption rather than on.
Oh yeah, that's lame.
On the picture.
Right.
And this guy had cosplayed a certain character. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I swiped because I thought it was going to be another picture of him.
Right.
And then it turned out to be a still of that character that he was cosplaying on the Deadpool set. I was like, like, you got me.
Yeah, that sucks. He should have definitely put spoiler alert on the picture, not in the caption. I agree.
And I wasn't the only one that was fooled. Like 3 other people said that in the comments. Like, bro, like, what are you doing?
Come on. Yeah. Yeah, I saw it on a movie news website, and they were, they said I think the headline said on-set images show the return of, I can't remember how they worded it, but basically saying characters from previous, I think, X-Men movies. And so I was like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. Yeah. I don't want everything spoiled. I want to see the movie. So yeah, I purposely avoided it. And thankfully I have not come across it on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. So yeah, can't wait to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. Although Logan was the perfect ending to that character. Really, he doesn't need to come back, but it'll be fun, I think.
You saw Logan?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I saw it in the theater.
Maybe that was John that didn't see it.
It's possible. That's probably right.
Oh man. Number 4. My number 4 is not Deadpool 3.
Okay.
My number 4 is Joker Folie à Deux.
That's my number 3. So we can kind of talk about this together.
Yeah. we've only gotten like a teaser of a teaser and some set photos so far. I remember when this movie was announced, shortly thereafter, they announced that Lady Gaga was going to play Harley Quinn in the sequel, and that got me excited.
Right.
And then after that, shortly after that, there were rumors, which I think have been confirmed, that the sequel was going to be a musical. Now, at first, I was like, well, that's stupid. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, Joaquin Phoenix, who is an unreliable narrator, and Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, who's probably also going to be an unreliable narrator, having this fantasy, this shared fantasy,
right,
play out as like this Broadway tragedy. I was like, yeah, I think I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'm very curious about it. I loved Joker. I thought Joker was so good. And I also thought it doesn't need a sequel. But
I agree.
But they're doing one. And the fact that it's a musical, Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, I'm just so intrigued. I can't wait to see some footage for it. I'm really curious what the songs are going to be like.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's just as good, if not better, than the first one. I don't know if they'll quite get that to that level, but I hope so,
What gives me some comfort about it is that it took them a while to greenlight a sequel, because neither Todd Phillips nor Joaquin Phoenix were necessarily aiming to make a sequel. And they both said, like, if there's a story to tell, then we'll tell it. But as of right now, there are no plans for it. That could have been just been PR. But I feel that both Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix respected the character so much that they didn't want to tell a story or make a sequel for the sake of making a sequel, and they really had something to say with this story. So
I agree, and I think when they made the movie, I don't think they had any plans to make a sequel. I think they were just trying to make a really good standalone movie, and then it did really well. Got an Oscar. It got a few Oscar nominations. Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar for it.
Yeah, got a win. Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Picture, which is pretty impressive. So the studio probably was pushing for a second one, and I think they were like, well, I mean, we're not. I think you're right. I think Todd Phillips was like, we're not just going to make a sequel to make a sequel, and then I think they came up with this idea of making it a musical and having Lady Gaga, and they kind of, hopefully the story's really good, and they figured out something great. But I'm really excited to see Joaquin Phoenix back as Joker, especially because, I mean, as much as I love the first movie, he's only Joker for like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like,
it'll be building up to that point, and it's, I mean, I love it. I love it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No complaints, but it'll be really interesting to see a movie with Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, where he's Joker, for the whole thing. Yeah. Assuming he'll be Joker for the whole thing, but he's not building up to being Joker. He's already there. So
I don't think that he'll be Joker for the whole thing. I'm expecting him to not be Joker until maybe like the 50% mark of the movie, and then Harley Quinn probably isn't going to be Harley Quinn until the third act, which I'm okay with.
Yeah. Do you think it would make sense. It ends the first movie. Well, spoiler alert, I guess, if you haven't seen the first Joker, pause right now or fast forward a little bit. But
it's only been 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but anyway, the first one ends with him in the hospital. So it would make sense that the second one would start in the hospital, and Harley Quinn is Dr. Harleen Quinzel treating him at the hospital. So yeah, I could actually see that too, where he doesn't kind of bring back the Joker until about halfway, and
I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're
really?
they're gonna do Dr. Harleen Quinzel. I think they're gonna do what they did with Joker, make her like an original character.
Well, I can
she'll
definitely
be
see
Harley Quinn-esque.
Right. Arthur Fleck was not, there was a kind of a new creation.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I just was thinking, I hadn't thought of it until just now that he, there's the whole hospital element to it. So, but you're probably right. All right. So that was number 3 for me. What's number 3 for you? Joker, by the way, comes out October 4th.
Number 3 for me. We haven't even gotten the first one yet. It comes out in a couple days, but Rebel Moon Part 2, Scargiver.
I debated putting this on my list, but I was like, I can't put the second one on the list before the first one. But I guess
why not?
You're a rule breaker. You're a rule breaker.
Now this could change because, like I said, the first one hasn't even come out yet. But the trailer for the first one looks so good. Oh,
I saw a review today. I don't like to read reviews because I don't want to spoil anything for myself, but I always look at the grade that they give it. Mm-hmm. And this website, joeblow.com, they gave it an 8 out of 10. They said it was great.
Yeah. I've seen some not so great reviews, but it's Zack Snyder. I expect that.
Yeah.
If Zack Snyder's name is on anything, people will go out of their way to speak negatively on it.
Right.
So
yeah. It's true. I'm really looking forward to it. That the first one comes out as of this recording next Friday. It'll be out, I think, or maybe it's
Thursday
today
night.
when this this Friday will be, so it'll already be out once this episode goes up because our Home Alone episode will come out when Rebel Moon comes out. So yeah, I'm really hoping I can watch it over the Christmas break, and because I thought the trailer looked really good too. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2 is probably the same as your number 2. I think our top 2 are probably the exact same.
Nope.
And that is, and I assume this movie's still coming out in 2024. It currently does not have an actual date, but it's Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yo, I completely forgot about Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
It's because it doesn't have a date.
I was looking at 2024 movies to see what was coming out, and that wasn't on there.
Right.
And yeah.
So, it was on my list, but it was like at the very bottom because it said TBD. Because I don't know what its original date was, but because of the actor strike and stuff, it got pushed back.
March.
Was it? So I'm hoping it comes out at the end of the year, but it just doesn't, as of right now, it doesn't have a date. So this very well may end up on my most anticipated of 2025 list, but as of right now, it's number 2 on my 2024 list.
Yeah. So I'm just going to throw that in there with my number 2, which is Deadpool 3.
Oh, nice. Yes. Very cool. Yeah. Across the Spider-Verse as of right now is my favorite movie of the year. So I cannot wait for Beyond. And so I expect great things. I just hope it comes out in 2024. We'll see. Deadpool 3. Got anything else? Do you got anything additional to say about Deadpool 3?
Oh yeah. You said I didn't love the costume. I really like it. I really like it. But yeah, you were right. I don't love it. And it's not because I think it looks bad. It's too much yellow for my liking.
Sure.
I personally would have inverted it.
Made it blue with yellow, like?
Yeah, blue with yellow trim instead of yellow with blue trim.
Right.
Yeah. But that's just me.
Yeah, again, I'm just, I've only seen like paparazzi photos, basically. And so I hope once we see it in the movie with color correction and all that stuff, that it looks great and not so, like, I don't know, just so bright, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm also curious I feel like if they got the costume, they got to have the mask, right? We're going to see the mask.
Of course. They're gonna have the mask. The theater is going to go absolutely bonkers. It's going to be like No Way Home. Like, did you see No Way Home in theaters?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. When Andrew Garfield showed up, people went nuts.
Yep. Yeah, and I imagine it's going to be the same thing with Wolverine. So yeah, can't wait. Cannot wait. All right. Well, let's honorable mentions before we get to our number one. I've got a couple on my list here.
Yeah.
Most of these there's no footage for yet. There is one, The Bike Riders, which is Jeff Nichols. There is a trailer for that. It's got Tom Hardy in it and Austin Butler, and it looks pretty good. I like Jeff Nichols a lot.
What has he done?
He did Midnight Special. He did Mud. He did Take Shelter.
I like Mud.
Yeah, he's done some good stuff. Loving. So yeah, that one I'm sure will be very good. I probably won't make it out to the theater to see it. Unfortunately, normally I would, but with my kid, I gotta be choosy.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 4 is on my honorable mentions. Inside Out 2. I loved Inside Out. I thought that was
I still haven't seen it.
Dude, that Pixar movie, that is a fantastic movie. I don't know if it needs a sequel, but they're making one, and so hopefully it's good. That's June 14th, so that's an honorable mention. Twisters. They are sequeling / rebooting Twister.
Yeah.
Glenn Powell is in that one. That's another one that I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about. Like, the CG has gotten better, so I'm sure it'll look good. But is it going to be as good as the original Twister? I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. There's an animated Transformers movie coming out called Transformers 1, September 13th. Chris Hemsworth is Optimus Prime, which is weird to me. And then Fede Alvarez, who directed like the Evil Dead remake, is directing an Alien movie. I don't know if there's an actual title for it, but that's August 16th. There is a title for it. What is it? Do you know?
Alien Romulus.
Alien Romulus. Yeah. So I have not been a huge fan of the last couple of Alien movies. Alien Covenant and was there one before that, or is it just Prometheus before that?
Just Prometheus.
Okay. Prometheus was all right, but I did not like Alien Covenant. So hopefully Alien Romulus is pretty good, but
you and I are in the minority because a lot of people like Alien Covenant more than Prometheus. You and I are the opposite. I actually think Prometheus is a great movie, and it is actually hurt by the fact that it's an alien movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I think as a standalone movie, 5 out of 5. But because they had to shoehorn so much alien stuff in there.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about Prometheus at some point. Actually, I'll save it for one. We should talk about Prometheus soon because I like that movie. I like 95% of that movie, but I have a big issue with the ending, and I can talk about that when we talk about Prometheus. So I don't want to spoil it here on this episode. All right,
we'll
honorable mentions.
About that pretty soon.
Okay, all right.
Honorable mentions for me: Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus.
Yep.
Transformers 1. And Transformers 1 for a special reason. I've always had a Transformers movie in my head that was set on Cybertron, and it would be I don't know if you've played the War for Cybertron game.
No, I haven't.
It is a great game.
Nice.
And I want to play it so bad, but it's so expensive. Yeah, but War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, they're great games, and I've always wanted to make a Transformers movie in the vein of those games. But like, I'm gonna nerd out for a minute.
Sure.
For me, what I would do would be like, so it would be an origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron, and it would show them kind of like Smallville, how Lex and Clark were friends.
Right.
So it would show them kind of like maybe not quite friends, but definitely allies and, kind of brothers in arms. And I wanted to have this team of Transformers that were, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wanted to have Optimus Prime, Megatron, Ratchet, Sentinel Prime, Jetfire, and Ultra Magnus teaming up to fight the Fallen on Cybertron, and that would start the war.
Oh, nice.
On Cybertron. And I had this trilogy in my head, and from what I understand, it's obviously it's not going to be what I said, but it's going to it's at least going to be in the vein of like the Brothers in Arms type thing from what I have heard.
Nice.
Then I don't think they're going to start off as enemies, which I'm very much looking forward to. I've always loved the idea of Megatron falling from grace rather than just being evil for the sake of being evil. Right. Yeah. And what has made me interested about that was his successor, Megatron 2 in Beast Wars. When they get to Beast Machines, he and Optimus, they have their conversations or whatever, and Megatron is a slightly different. He has a slightly different demeanor than he does in Beast Wars, and he's saying to Optimus, "Bro, like we want the same thing. We want peace on Cybertron. It's just that you're not willing to do what it takes to do it."
Right.
And I love that. I love that. So I hope that they do that in Transformers 1.
Nice. Yeah, I hope so too. That'd be really cool. I imagine I'll probably get more excited for that one when we see a trailer. Because I imagine, an animated Transformers movie in today's, technology of animation technology and everything, I think is going to be probably pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Any other honorable mentions on your list?
Yeah, Quiet Place Day 1. We haven't seen anything about it. All I know is that Lupita Nyong'o is going to be in it. Somebody else, I forgot who else was going to be in it. But yeah, we haven't heard anything about that other than that. And we just got a trailer for this movie. It is a sequel that is 30 years too late. It's probably not going to be very good, but it definitely looks better than the last sequel that this person did that was 30 years too late, almost 40 years too late, and that is Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Yes, I
saw the trailer. I was like, that looks decent. Doesn't look good, but it looks it looks acceptable. I'm interested.
I am also interested in that. I will definitely check it out. I don't think it didn't like blow me away, but I will say the music, that like updated version of the theme.
Yeah.
So
Lauren
good. I want more of that.
He put a post up on IG. He's like, if you can't tell, I definitely had fun doing this one.
Yeah, so I think that actually looks, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it. Eddie Murphy looks, I can't remember. He's like 61 or 62 years old. He looks amazing.
He looks great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy has looked the same for like the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So, those are some other movies that you and I should talk about. The Beverly Hills Cop movies. We should talk about those.
I've only seen
I'm looking
the
forward
first
to that
one.
too.
I haven't seen 2 or 3.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've seen them all. The third one's probably the worst one. That's the one I've seen the least amount of times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the fourth one as well. That one didn't end up on my list because it's a Netflix movie, and I didn't think to look at what was coming out on Netflix, I guess. But I did think about Rebel Moon, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I just missed that one. But yeah, that trailer looked fun, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and that's it for my honorable mentions.
All right, cool. Well, it shall come as no surprise to anybody who listened to our episode last year what our number one pick is. It was our number one pick of 2023, but unfortunately, because of the actors' strike, got pushed to March of 2024, and that is Dune Part 2. I assume that's still your number one. Yeah.
Yes.
There was actually a new trailer for this that was just released that I did not watch because I don't want to see anything else. I don't need to see anything else. I just want to go in as blind as I possibly can, even though I know the story. I've read the book,
Yeah.
but I want to visually want to go in blind, and because I know it's going to just be amazing. So yeah, I cannot wait for this. I really wish it had just come out when it was supposed to come out, but unfortunately we got to wait until March 1st. I think it looks like, yeah,
March 1st.
So
yeah, I saw the first 2 trailers when they came out and have since forgotten about them, and I'm glad.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. Yeah, I don't want to go back and rewatch those. I don't want to see the new one. I just want to see the movie. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to hear more of Hans Zimmer's Dune score. Yeah, I'm pumped. I cannot wait. All right. Well, we'd love to know what movies you're excited about coming up in 2024. You can always let us know at cinemaheroes.com. You can leave us a comment on our Instagram or tweet at us. Both handles are at CinemaHeroes. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below what movies you're most excited about. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell your friends about us. And I think that about wraps it up for this episode, though. I'm Justin Speck.
I'm Jay Stu.
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing.